Hi friends, it's Nancy Piter with One Paper Chick. I'm coming to you with a video of a couple of alternative card ideas that I came up with using the August Paper Pumpkin kit. So when I saw the kit and I saw the colors, it kind of reminded me of Southwest Design, and also because of the brush strokes, it kind of looked feathery to me. So right away I thought feathers. So I came up with this idea of cutting a feather shape, cutting it out of this piece of the paper that came with the kit, cutting it into a feather and making more or less like a Southwest card. This one here is real easy. I just used my own cardstock, Bermuda Bay. I cut the smaller card that came with the kit in half, glued it there, made the little pouch, stamped the For You, took one of the little orange papers that came with it, and then stamped on there, just wanted to say happy birthday with a cake. Put the little burlap ribbon, the clothespin, the espresso twine, and the little flower, and that kind of goes right in there. Okay, so I want to show you how this works and how I came to this idea. The first thing I did was take this piece, and I wanted to utilize as much of this piece as I could. So what I did was freehand draw a piece of, like a feather, something that would fit the whole length of this card. And then what I did was I just traced as many as I could. I think I got 4 or 5 across. Traced them, cut them out by hand, and then you have this. What I did was then I took a marker. This is not a Stampin' Up! Marker, but if you have a brown marker of any sort, I just kind of hand sketched a vein down the middle. And then what I did was I took my paper snips, and it takes a little time, but it's so worth it. I just start on an angle and clip really close together, but kind of up to that vein of the feather. And you're going to do that all the way down one side. And then you're going to start over here and start going down this side. And you're just going to clip close, kind of to the vein, not all the way to. And you're going to do that all the way down. And as you do that, the feather kind of curls and takes a shape. So you can see on this card here, I did. And it kind of just curved naturally. I think it's really cute, and it looks really like a feather. Okay, so as you can see, I fringed the feather, and you see how it kind of curls on its own, and it really, really looks like a feather. So once I did that, set that aside, what I did was I took one of the cards that came in the kit, just folded it in half, and then I took a piece of Cajun Craze cardstock. I ran it through the embossing machine with you can use the wood grain embossing folder or the birch tree one. I think either one will work. And then what I did after that was I took something to rough up the edges of the card. Now, I don't know what this is. I kind of stole it out of my husband's toolbox. I don't think he's even missing it. It's like a little saw, but I'll tell you, it works really good for roughing the edges up of your cardstock. If you don't have that, you can take like a sharp steak knife. You can take an emery board, a piece of rough sandpaper. But what you want to do is just go along the edges and rough up the edges of your cardstock. And this works really well. So look in your husband's toolbox. You might find something like this. And just kind of nonchalantly borrow it. And he probably won't even see that it's missing. But this works really well. Once you get that done, what I did was I took my Cajun Craze ink with a dauber. And I hit the edges of this cardstock. It really gives it a nice edge to it. More dimension is what I like on it. So I'll do that really quick. Okay. All right, so that looks good there. Okay, the next thing I did, just get this out of here. I'd adhered it to the front of the card and I used my heavy duty adhesive just because it is embossed. It's a little more of a thicker kind of paper there. Okay, so I put that right like that. Okay, there we go. All right, and the next thing I did was the little brown card that came with it. I took my early espresso and I went around the edges of that with the early espresso. I like the way this looks when you do this to cardstock. Okay. All right, once I did that, what I did was I wanted to put the feather on. So to stick the feather on, I took the couple of the little adhesive dots that came in the kit, and I just put a couple right on the back of the feather in a couple spots. And then I just kind of laid it here and wherever the little glue dots where it's stuck. And then I still wanted the feather to like curl up and have a curl to it, okay? So then the next thing I did was I took the early espresso twine that came with it, and I just put a little bit of adhesive, on the back so it would hold my twine. Started it there. And then I just kind of wrapped it a few times around haphazardly like that, just to give it some more interest, and stuck it back there to catch it. Did that. Now the other thing I used, which I noticed is not in the catalog anymore. Remember they used to have the candy dots in all the colors, the subtles, the brights, the regals, and the neutrals. And they came out with new enamel dots in the brights, the subtles, and the regals, but not in the neutrals again. Now I happen to have some left, but if you don't have any left, or you cannot obtain anything to that effect, what you do is you can take, you can either use the gold adhesive dots that they have now, or I don't know if you know, you can take your pearls. You can just use a permanent Sharpie marker and color the pearls, and you can color them any color you need, and they'll suffice for this. That's if you don't have any of the candy dots they used to have. I still have some of the candy dots, so I'm just going to use a couple of them to put on the front here, like that. Okay, then the next thing I'm going to do is put some of the dimensionals that came in the kit on the back. Okay, take the paper off, and all right, and then we're going to adhere this to the front of the card. And I kind of do it off to the side here, right about there. So the other thing I did was I took the banner that came in the kit, and I used one of the Past Paper Pumpkin Kits stamp sets. The ones I used, this one here was from the, let's see here, the February 2016 kit. It's really nice. The other stamp set I used was this one here, And this one was from the May 2016 kit for the other card we're going to make. So what I used, and then I used obviously the stamp set that came in the kit. So this one here is from the February, and I used the Thinking of You, and I stamped it in the Early Espresso. And then I'm going to put a couple of adhesive dots on the back and adhere it to the front of the card, overlapping just a smidge right there. And that's the front of the card. And then on the inside of the card, I just stuck a piece of the Cajun Craze paper that came in the kit. I didn't do it here yet. And then I used the same stamp set with the happy birthday and stuck it in there. I think it makes a really nice masculine birthday card. So that's the first card that I came up with here. All right, and now the second card I came up with was using the cute little pouch that came with the card. So I cut yourself a piece of Bermuda Bay cardstock. That's 8.5 by 4 4.25 by 8.5, score at 4.25. Okay, there we go. I made the little pouch. I stamped the For You on it with the Early Espresso. I cut down the piece of the orange that came in the kit to fit inside here. I stamped it with Just Wanted to Say, which was from the new stamp set, and the happy birthday in the card was from the May stamp set. Okay, stamped it on there, and then what I took from the kit was a piece of the ribbon, probably about a couple inches like that, and I glued it on to the front. And I put a little bit on the back too. Oops, sticking to my paper. Wow, it's really strong. Okay, let's put it back on there. All right. And I just clip this. I know if you fold the ribbon like so, cut it on an angle, and you get a cute little V shape there. Folded it over, and that's why I wanted to put a little bit on the back here to hold that down. There we go. And then I took a flower that came in the kit and one of the cute little paper clips, and you know what I did with I just took the dauber and hit it with the Early Espresso just to, you know, give it some more interest than just a plain old brown paper clip. And then I took the flower with one of the little dots that came, the adhesive dots, just stuck that on the back there and put that right there. And then a piece of the Early Espresso twine and tied it on. Let me put it on the little card here. And I won't tie the bow, but I tied the bow on, stuck it in here. Okay. Tied the bow, slid it down in there. I still had some of the bright candy dots. They have them in the enamel dots now, or you can color them with a marker. And then I just had an extra piece of that orange paper that I trimmed off. I just stuck it in there. And you can just put any kind of little saying in there that you want, but it pretty much says, just wanted to say happy birthday. And these are my alternative cards using the new August Paper Pumpkin Kit. I hope you liked it. See you soon.